because our topic today is all about the interview process. Yeah, so I know some of you said something about public speaking is not your strong suit. I heard that, but that's okay, because this is a part of life, and we're gonna have interviews throughout our life. So we're gonna start practicing today if you haven't already, and I know that some of you have already had jobs. I don't know if you had an interview. Raise your hand if you had an interview at one point. All right, so Kendrick had an interview. Did you have an interview with your mom? Did your mom was like, I don't know, can you do this? Are you equipped for this work? Are you gonna do the job and not quit? Did she interview you like that? No, she didn't interview you like that? Okay, so you haven't had a formal interview yet, okay. Well, we're gonna have an interview process today. That's a part of this presentation. Get you up and moving around and getting to know each other, getting to know yourself as well. So let's get started. As you know, my name is Letitia Pope. I'm also known as Tish, Miss Tish, and Coach Tish. So that's gonna be a part of my introduction. You'll also learn about what we will learn today. The interview process will start. After that, we'll have a question and answer, the evaluation. I have a bonus for everybody in here, including those who have already left, and I will close out, okay? So as you know, my name is Coach Tish or Miss Tish. I went to Bowling Green State University. I have a master's in education. I am a career readiness coach for youth, so I'm here for you. And my passion is to help you get jobs. Now that's very short because you don't have a lot of space in here. But really, I want you to get a job in your desired field, your desired industry. That's what I'm more concerned about than you just getting a job. Because how many people who are grown-ups have jobs that they do not like? Or had one that they do not like, okay? All right, so we're raising our hands. And sometimes you have to go through those growing pains, right? In order for you to find out, like we talked about before, what you don't like, okay? So you can check that thing off and keep it moving and refine what your goals are in life. But the thing is, you wanna focus most of your life on earth doing something that's fulfilling. So that's what I'm passionate about, helping you to understand what that is when you're young, so that you can make strides towards it as you get older. Because think about it, if you don't have children right now, this is the best time for you to focus your energy and your time on that. Because once you start having children, your energy and your focus goes towards the child or children, okay? So this is the most valuable time, and I know that you spoke about that too, how you want to start young, want to start your career young, because you don't want to have the same situation that your mother had, where she had a lot of responsibilities that delayed her own dreams and aspirations. So that makes sense. So another thing about myself that's important is that I am a family person. I have 6 siblings, so that in total, there's 7 of us. All right. I have a daughter that's not present today. She's with her aunt, and her aunt is his mom. That's my nephew in the back. His name is Caden. All right. He's here being my assistant today. I said, hey, you want to make some coins today? He said, yes, ma'am. So he's here today collecting coins, okay? Because I believe in employing my nieces and nephews. I don't just have them come and do things for me as a volunteer effort. You know, that's cool as well, but I want them to see what it's like to be an entrepreneur. I want them to see what it's like to make money, actually supporting and doing something for somebody else. So we start young in our family. In my pastime, I like to crochet. So anybody like to crochet here, knit, anything like that? Okay, that's good. What kind of things do you like to crochet?
My aunt, like my grandma, she did like patterns.
Okay, so what do you like to do? You still trying to figure it out? Okay, so I make Afghan blankets. Infinity scarves are my favorite because they're simple, quick, and cute. I make baby blankets. I use acrylic, which is the stuff you normally see in the stores, and I also use 100% cotton, because that's good for the babies, you know, because you don't want to put them around a lot of toxic stuff and materials. So give them cotton is natural, right? So that's something I do. But honestly, right now I'm in the season where I just want to do infinity scarves. Like, these are way too long, time consuming. So that's a little bit about myself. Normally I'll let you go around the room and tell me about yourself. Since I already know your names, I already know your grades, we can just do the pet and the hobby. If you don't have a pet, you can just tell me your hobby. So let's start here. Pet or hobby?
Pet.
Okay.
I have a dog named Roscoe.
Roscoe, okay.
Uh,
Susie, all right. Susie as well?
yeah.
Okay, you wanna tell me a hobby?
I don't really like doing cartwheel and everything.
Okay, like to be active, physically active, okay. What about yourself? Say it up aloud.
I play sports.
So that's your hobby, your sports, that's good, and see, you get to do something already, and that's a good thing. So you wanna keep doing that, right? Going into the NFL, not only do it because you enjoy it, but to also make money to create generational wealth.
Yeah.
Amen. All right, Tiana, would you like to share with us something? Your pet or hobby?
A hobby, I like to journal, I like to write, and I ghostwrite for other people.
Oh, that's
A
good.
hobby turned into.
And you like writing?
Right.
Writing takes forever for me. It's just too many things to put down and organize, and it's just too much. What about yourself?
So I don't like pets, so I do hobbies.
Okay.
I really enjoy writing just like Miss Tiana, but I prefer to write music. So I like writing music for people.
Okay, cool. Would you like to participate? Sure. All right. I have a dog, Roscoe Leo.
Okay. And my hobbies, I love to drive and travel.
Travel, that you spoke about that internationally, right? Yeah. Yourself, Chelsea?
I have a dog named Veronica, and I had a fish named Dennis Jr., but he's done it.
Right.
Love my
King
fish.
Junior and
Oh my
King.
God.
Yeah,
I
I
love
too.
him so much. He was junior after another fish that we had at my daughter's school. It was weird, but we loved him. I don't have hobbies. That's something I need to fix. Like you turn hobbies into monetized things. And so
Right.
I need to do something just for me. That's fun.
Hey, that's like a smart hobby, right? Because you learn how to make money and enjoy it at the same time.
Yes.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
Like speaking is a hobby for me. Like it's something I just love to do. You know, it terrifies me, but I need like real hobbies.
That's a blessing if you can make money from it too.
Yes.
Right. Sounds like another course in the making. All right, so here you will learn how to define what is an interview. You will also talk about the different types of interviews, interview attire, etiquette. You will memorize some interview questions. We will talk about how to conduct, and you'll actually conduct a mock interview with each other. Aha. We'll see. And then we'll do the post-interview process. All right, so we'll get into it now. Define interview. Somebody tell me. Raise your hand if you know anything about an interview. What it is, what it looked like, anything. You wanna start? You have experience, Kendrick, come on. Share with us, share your knowledge, your experience.
I don't know, it's like, you just trying to sorry. You're just trying to express why you're fit for the job and why you should take that position. Or they should believe in you to, do the job or whatever.
Okay, so an interview is where you go to tell somebody about what you do, how you do it, or your qualifications, and they decide whether or not you're a good fit.
Yeah.
Okay, anybody else wanna put a, comment in there, tell us your opinion about what an interview is? No? Yes? What do you think?
Basically asking you questions of, like, if you have, like, experience,
Mhm.
yeah, like stuff like that.
So Dia said, somebody's asking you questions, right?
Yeah.
All right.
My mom always put it to me, it's just talking about yourself and how great you are.
Okay. Raja? Yes. Raja said our mother taught her that it's talking about how great you are marketing yourself to somebody else, right? All right, let's get into it. It is a structured conversation. So you are right, it is a conversation. There's some back and forth, there's some give and there's some take, okay? But it's structured. When we say structure, that means that there's a beginning and there's an end to it. There's in between the beginning and the end, there's questions, right? Specific questions that are asked to you, and as you can find out, there will be some specific questions you'll have to ask them, okay? So there's an interviewer and there's an interviewee in this equation. Who is the interviewer? Anybody, raise your hand. Say it out loud if you can. Who's, say it one more time. The employer is the interviewer, and who is the interviewee? Yes, ma'am. You, the person who's going in for the interview. That is correct. Now, one participant asks questions, and the other provides an answer. Does it say the interviewer asks the questions and the interviewee answers the questions? Or the interviewee asks the questions and the interviewer? Like, does it matter who's the main person in asking? It does matter? Okay, why does it matter?
Because the interviewer is the one employing you.
Yeah, potentially employing you. But then also take into consideration that you're also interviewing them. You want to know if that is a good environment for you to work in. You know, you're getting to ask questions to the person who's supposed to be the gatekeeper, right? The person who's gonna potentially hire you. Now, if they have a nasty attitude and they're not really answering your questions, or they're rolling their eyes and not really engaging you, would you feel like you wanna work there? If they represent that company, do you feel like they're doing a good job of representing that company? No. So you're not gonna wanna work there, just by the interaction alone, how they treat you, you may like, nah, I'm straight. They're not a good fit for me, I don't like the way they're acting towards me, I don't like the way she looked at me, you know, I don't like the way he looked at me, or whatever it may be, or they looked at me. Okay, so they are a representation of the company, so you have the right to ask them questions, just as well as they have a right to ask you questions, okay? All right, so please tell me, do you know of any types of interview situations? Any types? Have you heard of any? They're very simple. Some of them you probably already know because of the pandemic. If you can't be face to face, you can be what? Virtual interview. Okay. And if you're not virtual, you're face to face, so what? Okay. And if you can't do face to face and you can't do over the video, what is another way? On the phone. So these are some basic ways of interviewing, right? And there's some other ways that you can interview too. You got the screening interview process where they just screen you. They just want to know whether or not you're qualified to go to the next step, right? You have the career fairs. Have you ever been to a career fair? Raise your hand. You've been to a career fair? Yes. Okay, awesome. Group interviews. Have you ever been in a room where there's more than one person being interviewed at the same time? Yes. And let me tell you something. One thing I used to do that made me stand out. I stood up. Everybody was sitting down the whole time, but when it got to me, I got up out of my seat, cleaned myself up, straightened myself up, said my name is such and such, I'm blah, 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 and I go down, you know, whatever I had to say to introduce myself. That's how I distinguish myself from everybody else. So you may want to try that one day. It may work in your favor. It'll make you stand out, and it'll make them remember you. Yes? But if everyone is standing up, then you just continue to be who you are. Go around the room, connect with people, sometimes on a personal level. Maybe you have a common hobby. Maybe you have a common author that you like. Maybe you have a common interest as far as career aspirations, or common school that you went to. Those are some ways that make you stand out in their eyes because you connect with them on a more deeper level than just you being here to get a job. Okay? So that's another way. Good question. I appreciate that. So then you have the panel interviews, you have the lunch interviews. Sometimes somebody will say, hey, let's go out to lunch. Let's talk at lunch. Okay? Some people may think you just go in there, kick it during happy hour. Okay, you're gonna get a couple of drinks, y'all gonna just, shoot the breeze. But nah, they're really trying to see who you are, your character. What you will and what you will not do, what you will and will not say, how you will or will not act.
Yeah.
So even though it's happy hour and drinks are half off, or, in your case, appetizers may be half off.
Right.
That don't mean you buy the boneless chicken wings with the barbecue sauce. That's messy. Okay, you be over there licking your fingers. And their face, they like, oh, okay, I see. Okay, that's what you do. All right, glad you're comfortable, but you be cutting it with a knife and a fork. Just look a little bit more decent, composed and poised. But, trying to find a way to continue to keep yourself professional, even in those relaxed environments. Yeah. All right, does that make sense? Good? All right, you already talked about the one-on-one interviews versus the panel interviews. All right. So, let's go on to a title. So, Miss Tiana, can you please stand up for me? Can you come to the front of the room? Yeah? All right. Miss Chelsea, can you please come to the front of the room? You stand by each other.
Like Mr. Brown.
All right. See these two beautiful ladies right here?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna be Vanna, okay, Vanna White. I need you to clap when I put my hand over the head. Oh, y'all can be Kiki Shepherd, okay, after Apollo, okay? All right. I'm gonna need you to clap your hands if you believe the person I put my hand over is dressed for an interview versus the person who's not. So if you believe that Miss Tiana is dressed for an interview, I need you to clap your hands for me. Yeah, okay. Do you think Miss Chelsea is dressed for an interview? I need you to clap your hands. Be loud for me if you think. Come on now, represent. If she's ready for an interview right now, today. Clap your, clap. No? Okay, all right. Thank you, ladies. You may have a seat. So can you tell me why Miss Tiana? Yeah, thank you. Sorry. Thank you, ladies, for participating. Tell me why you think Miss Tiana is ready right now for an interview. Yes.
She was like more dressed up, more like ready.
Okay, when you say dressed up, tell me a little bit more about what in her attire looks like.
Like some people dress down, and then instead of like dressing up professionally.
What's professional attire? Tell me a little bit about, tell me what you think on her is professional.
Look at her outfit, what makes it
Yeah, tell me what on her outfit looks professional.
And like her body is all covered up.
Covered up, she's not having boobs out or anything else out. Sorry, I say boobs if that offends you, sorry.
That's a better word for
Okay. All right. That's a good one. She's covered up. She looks modest, is what we'll say. She looks modest. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
Her outfit says like it means business.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Boss lady.
Yes.
You see me all, okay, all day, every day. That's what she look like. Tiana, stay ready. Okay? So she don't have to get ready. So yes, that attire makes her look very confident. She looks like she's going for a higher paid position because she looks more executive-like in her attire, right? That makes sense. There's some other things I want you to notice about her attire, and we'll get to that in a few minutes. But tell me why Miss Chelsea didn't look like she was ready for an interview today. Y'all clap pretty slow for her. Why? Yes, ma'am.
She was more dressed down. She looked like she was to go to a picnic or something.
Okay. Oh, she looks like casual attire. Okay. She may just be going to a picnic after this. We don't know. We don't know, but she is ready. Yes, ma'am.
Like the tattoos is all out and everything. Like you can see her ankles and everything.
Her tattoos are exposed, okay? Yes, ma'am. Her jeans are ripped. Oh, no. We can't go to an interview like that. No, not with the ripped distressed jeans. No, ma'am. Okay. Thank you, ladies. I appreciate y'all. But let's go ahead. Here's some examples. Okay? So I would say Miss Chelsea falls into this category. A more casual attire with the fitted jeans. Okay. It looks good. It looks very nice. And I would definitely go to like the state fair. I would be going out for a nice little evening stroll, go to the museum. But I do the casual right here all day, every day. Believe me, I would. Because I love the flats. I love everything about it. It's comfortable, right? But when you go to an interview, the fitted jeans probably won't be the best thing to do. You know, some of us are very blessed in the back. So having all that extra accent, attention to the backside may be a distraction for the interviewer. You may get the job just for that.